Okay.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for being prompt. I don't anticipate too much attendance today because of President's Day, but for those who've attended today, we have a treat. We have some amazing formats today. We're going to try out a little bit more where it's formatted because we're on a time constraint. We understand that everyone sacrifices their time to be here, and we appreciate that. So a little bit that we want to go through is Zillow leads. We're going to have a class over the next couple of weeks about how to convert them and how to actually talk to these clientele. So Zillow leads, I actually prefer open house leads compared to Zillow leads. So if we're talking about how to generate leads organically, my recommendation always is to find someone in the office to partner up with, right? Find someone who has a listing that's been there for a month or so that's not hosting. I would say as an agent, right, it is our job to always have fresh leads in our database all the time, right? Our job is to talk to 10 new leads a day, right? 10 new contacts a day. So as an agent, we got to be the superstar in our area. We have to be top of mind at all times. So we'll talk about that in a few very shortly. Not sure if Frank is on. If not, then I'm going to go and cover a little social media that we talked about last week. I think today's President's Day. I think Frank is off, but we're going to talk about first
I'm
quarter.
on, buddy.
Are you on,
Yeah,
brother?
man. I
All
couldn't let you guys
right.
leave you guys hanging.
Oh man, take the show away. The show is yours. Yours. Go ahead, Frank.
I was actually looking forward to that update from last week. See what we covered, but I won't. I'll save you.
Awesome, Frank. Go ahead, brother. The
Good.
floor is yours. Great job.
I'm excited to be here again with you guys. I figured, hey, if you're gonna be here and working, I'm working today, so I'm excited to talk about some other stuff. So let's start with a little bit. I want to talk a little bit of video today. I want to talk a little bit about Instagram hooks and we'll just kind of go through a couple of things, but I want to make sure you guys are aware of the best ways to get business. And then I thought I would give you a little bonus today. Maybe we'll start with the bonus.
Sure.
So we have a client that did I think $1 million in gross, over 100 sales from just social media. And so I thought we could talk about what that looked like and what she did. And it really isn't that difficult, but it did take a while. And so I believe that if you have the mindset of, hey, we're willing to put the time in, then you have to understand that video can pay off. So last week we talked a little bit about an Instagram story. I think we talked about Jeffrey and how he did a reel a day, and that really built his business. And so what I thought we could just kind of talk about today was how this agent did a little over 100 deals. And what she did was she started a series on her YouTube channel. So for those of you that aren't aware, when you do a YouTube channel, you can have different playlists. So for example, we have a YouTube channel and it's mostly just regular video, like videos on all different things, but we're about to add a new channel and we're about to start putting up renovations that we're doing. So we just renovated an oceanfront property and we're about to do a channel on just this renovation, almost like a TV show, starting from beginning to end and showing what it looked like from the beginning and what it looked like at the end. Well, what she did was one of the things you'll see on our channel as well is small business interviews around town. What's the goal when you have a YouTube channel, right? The goal is to be what we call the digital mayor. You want to be the digital mayor. If I go to your YouTube channel, what am I trying? What do I want to see? Well, I want to see that you're tied into the community, right? I want to see that you know everyone in the community, that you're liked, well respected, just very tied in and knowledgeable. So if I find you on social, which is really important, which is what we've been talking about, right? Hey, how to get found on social media. What do you want me to do? And what am I going to find if I do that? So if I go to your YouTube channel or your website, what's there? If you have a website, are your YouTube videos embedded on your website? Can I watch them there? Or if I go straight to your YouTube channel, what am I going to learn? The goal is to be able to stay on your YouTube channel and learn all the things I would like to learn so that I'm able or, understand that if I'm going to purchase, you're my person. So what she did was she went around and did small business spotlights, and she did them over a span of 4 years. And she's finally at the point where between referrals and people finding her on YouTube and social, she had over 100 deals. Okay. So if we do the same thing. We did small business spotlight, but what's great about this is the fact that you can see other people's businesses, their audience, right? So you're sharing audiences. One of the great things is, how do people find me? So when we talk about doing social media, the reason why we're saying, hey, do a reel, do a Facebook post, do whatever, all of that is so that people find you. Because they're not just, the only way they're going to find you on YouTube is if now this is a big deal. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. So I might type in homes in X and I might find you. But if I don't go to YouTube, how am I going to find you? And so what's great about this is your collaboration, right? So if Anthony and I do a video on anything, and the people that follow Anthony are going to see me, and the people that...
Oh, shoot. You muted him. Where?
Frank, you're on mute. Frank, you just hit mute real quick by accident. There you go.
How about now?
There you go. You're good.
So I don't know how that happened. I wasn't even anywhere near my keyboard. Okay. So, but the point is, I don't know what you heard me say last, but the point is, if Anthony and I do something, his audience sees me, my audience sees him. So what, if you had to make a list, if I challenged you to make a list and I said, okay, what are the first 5 or 10 businesses in your area that are extremely well known that you would go to and say, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. I'd love to do a video and highlight your business. What would those videos be? What are the 5 or 10 businesses that pop up in your mind? Is there a restaurant? We did a couple restaurants. And when I go to a restaurant with my wife, if I think like it's busy or it's popular or whatever, it's new, I'll talk to the owner and let him know about our YouTube channel and say, hey, I'd love to help you out. That's the goal, right? So it's all about forming new relationships, but what are the 5 or 10 you could do? And then what else? What about the principal of the schools? Could you do that, right? The mayor, anybody who works for the city, talk about any city planning, zoning stuff that's coming. What about a new bypass? Maybe a new road? What projects are coming? Any of those types of things. And some of this requires you to get more tied into the community, which is at the end of the day, all really good for your business. Okay. So just a tip. And really that's what it comes down to, is just the referrals that she got from her page and the collaborations. The referrals, you will see a lot of other agents that if you do a video, you could put it in a Facebook group. There's people that they have Facebook groups moving from this place to that place, or, people moving with a big company, Amazon, Ford, Intel, Facebook. When people are moving across the country from one place to the next, are they going to find you when they find these Facebook groups? Facebook groups can be really powerful for you to take a listing or a video you're doing about your area. If I'm searching your area where you guys are and I type into YouTube, or if I'm on Facebook and I type into Facebook, is that video going to pop up? So it's all about just finding you guys and popping up. Any questions about the video, the collaborations, who to do it with, and what that looks like, and questions to ask or anything like that?
Frank, one quick question. So I've been trying to push the YouTube aspect to just not only CBGR, but just as an agent in general, right? So you just mentioned it, YouTube's the number 2 search engine in the world. Are there any hashtags that our agents should, hashtag in the videos? For example, if they're hyper-focused on Alhambra or Arcadia as their cities, should they hashtag Arcadia best foods, or what do you suggest?
It's a great question. You could. What we have found, and no one really knows the direct answer as to far to how much it really affects your video, right? So, but But what we have found is that I would use two things. One, it's called TubeBuddy, T-U-B-E Buddy, B-U-D-D-Y. And it will give you a good indication for what people are searching for or how it's going to rank your video. And then one of the other biggest things I think that has to do with your video ranking is thumbnails. So if you're not doing a thumbnail on your video, I would suggest putting thought and time into your thumbnails. And usually what the thumbnail should do is it should create the question in the person's mind, what's coming next? If they see your video and they understand maybe what it's about, but they're not sure what you're going to say or what your stance is on it, that's what you want, because then they click to see, right? You don't want it to be so far as clickbait, meaning they click thinking they're going to find out about investments and then they find out about poodles. Like, you don't want it to be like that, but you do want to keep them guessing a little bit as to what's coming in your video. So that and TubeBuddy are probably the two most powerful things. Now, I do have, this goes a little bit deeper, but I'll throw this out there just because I think it's important since it's in the conversation. There's two different ways to look at this. Some people think you should not run ads on YouTube, okay? And some think you should. What are ads? So you can actually, through Google or YouTube, and we can talk about this another day, I'm just going high level. Through YouTube, you can either run ads on YouTube or you can run ads through your Google platform, okay? Google allows you to strategically target every homeowner in a city. If you wanted to just get seller leads, you could do a 30-second skippable ad that just shows up for people when they're on YouTube. And it would be you talking about real estate or buying and selling or a market update. Some people think you shouldn't do that because it throws your algorithm off. Some people think you should stay organic. And then some people, like me, even though I don't do it, I think running ads is a good thing if you want sellers. But point being, if you just do videos and you put them on YouTube, what you're expecting is you're going to get a lot of buyers because you're expecting people to search on YouTube, use YouTube as a search term. And when they do that, you pop up and they call you. We get a lot of calls off YouTube. Either one is fine. You just have to decide what you want to do. I would suggest, though, just getting started if you don't have videos, and then all this strategy we can get into down the road. But TubeBuddy is a great place to kind of give you an idea of how your video will rank based on the title and those types of things, and just keep it simple right off the bat. But it's a good question. Yes, you can use hashtags. I just don't know exactly how much effect it will have. I do know thumbnails are a biggie. And I also believe YouTube has the option to go live. Most people don't even know that. And if they do, they don't use it. I believe because most platforms push features that are new and features that are different. So I believe if you go live once a week in conjunction with the other stuff you do, that really helps your YouTube channel. I had a client who used to do it and the results were off the charts. And I believed it was, one, he wasn't running ads, he was just organic. He was ahead of the game. He's very good at understanding what the new trend is. So he started doing, like, have any of you seen the videos where somebody's got an article, like a news article behind them, and they're talking about the news article and it doesn't look high quality. It's more just kind of like them with a news article on a green screen. Has anybody ever seen that? Yay, nay, no? Okay. Nope. So if you scroll social, you'll see, like, if you don't know who Gary V is, Gary Vaynerchuk, great person to follow on social media, and anybody else who's in the social media world, you'll see people talking about a news article. And what a lot of YouTubers will do, or even social media people, influencers, let's say, like, when they shot the balloon down over South Carolina, my whole house shook. So when that happened, some people got on and they could have talked about how that affected real estate in South Carolina, whatever. So they could have put the article of the balloon behind them. And while they're talking about the whole situation, the article's in the background. So that kind of stuff, that and being the first one to do it or going live, I believe helps while you're doing, they always want you to use their newest, latest, and greatest features. So you'll find that. That's why video is such a big thing. And lastly, YouTube is horizontal video, okay? YouTube has something called Shorts. That's the vertical form video that they have. So I would also recommend that if you're going to do horizontal video, take that and chop it up into pieces and make vertical video out of it. It's multi-purpose it. Excuse me. But that leads me into my next thing that I wanted to talk to all of you about today. And that is hooks on Instagram or Shorts. So what is a hook? A hook is essentially what gets people in the first, few seconds of a video. What's going to get me interested when I pop on? And so Anthony, I will send this to you. I'll have Gwendolyn's off today. I'll try and get it to you today, but if not, she'll get it to you tomorrow. But I have a bunch of samples of 3-second hooks, and I'll go through some here today, and then I'll open it up to Q&A, okay? Okay. So a couple of hooks that people are using and that can work. So one of them is watch till the end. So you start the video with, hey, watch till the end where I have, this extra bonus tip, or I'm going to talk about this. That keeps people till the end, which also helps your rankings. You'll never believe it. Do you know that blank? Do you know that living in South Carolina is, whatever, maybe a statistic, maybe whatever, but do you know that? Let's see. What's up here? Listen up. Just started with listen up. Here's a secret that other blank aren't telling you. Here's a secret that other agents aren't telling you. I would want to know, right? What's that secret? I want to know what that secret is. Top 3 reasons why you should. Top 3 reasons why you should move to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Bam, 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 right? 5 things to avoid. Is it just me, or, whatever the thing is? I was just talking to someone the other day about not to stir up any controversy, and actually sometimes controversy is a little good if it's safe, but, I went to a place where they were asking me to tip them, but there was nothing that they did to get a tip. And I was like, oh my gosh, this tipping thing is getting out of control. So I was talking to someone about it. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, they didn't do any extra thing. So that would be something you could be like, is it just me, or is tipping out of control? Like, you could do a video about that, right? In your area or whatever, just to get people engaged on your social media. What's your experience with? 3 mistakes every buyer makes. 3 mistakes every seller makes. I need your help, right? If you blank, keep watching. If you like real estate, keep watching. If you want to know, XYZ, keep watching. Wait. That's a 3-second hook. Wait. Because people go like this the whole time. All they do is scroll real fast. So hold up. Did you know? Attention. All buyers, right? Attention. That would be just that word alone. Imagine, whatever. Imagine, and then anything you put after it. So those are just a few hooks. Like I said, I'll send these to Anthony so he has them, but it's just good to do. So I talked last week about batch shooting. So hopefully you guys, you took that as a note from last time. I wanted to come up with a couple and give you guys some tips on content pillars, because last time we talked on video, I left you with, producing content. So I thought I would give you a little bit of content ideas too, is like content pillars. So some things you could do content on: neighborhood and local, right? Proof of success. I think I talked to you guys about documenting the journey a little bit. Proof of competency. So what do you know? What are you a specialist at? What are you great at? If I were great at probate, or if I was good with divorce, or if I was a specialist with investors or multifamily, I would do proof of competency, right? So what are you a specialist at that you could talk about on social media? Behind the scenes, I talked to you a little bit about behind the scenes. Vendors and partners, you could do stuff with vendors and partners or about vendors and partners. And then there's branding. Then you have the, what should I talk about? So one of the things that I talked about last week a little bit, but not so much, is how to come up with content ideas. And one of them should be, what are your clients asking you? What are the things that clients ask you all the time? If somebody asks you a question, you should be thinking, I should probably make a video out of that. Or what questions do you answer frequently, right? Or what does your buyer consult look like? Or what do you go over in the listing consultation, right? We talked about answerthepublic.com. I think we talked about that on our call last week. But, you could talk about what you should fix before an inspection period. If you're selling your home, leave the house during showings, your gutters, new construction, tips to find the perfect loan officer, how to sell a home fast, price, condition, marketing. So these are all things that we deal with in a day-to-day basis, but we just don't think that they're that big of a deal. But those would be perfect examples of ideas that you can just do a video on. And all we're doing is telling everybody what we do all day long. That's all we're doing. It's really not supposed to be this groundbreaking stuff. To them it is, to us it's no big deal, right? Okay, let me pull up there for a second and just see if there's any questions about anything I've gone over. I've got other topics I can give you that you can do content on, but I thought I'd take a break there and just see, are there any questions? Anything?
Hi, Frank.
Yes.
Frank, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Jeffrey, I have a question.
Jeffrey.
Hi.
Yes.
How do you measure in terms of analytics? How do you measure the result of your posting? Let's say you're posting twice or 3 times a week for many months or many years or whatever. How do you measure? How do you measure the result? How do you test the content, the response? How do you do the measurement?
I love that. That's a great question. So 2 ways probably that are the best to measure it, whether it's a success or not for your social. The first one would be followers. So are you gaining new followers as you post? Now, I say that with a little bit of hesitation because what I see as almost an epidemic are anybody who posts on social or does a video and then they're like, oh, I'm done. This isn't working. It's been a week. I've gotten only one person watched my videos. So understand that it takes a year, 2 years to really build up momentum on these. You have to be experts, which a lot of you probably already are in other areas of your life, and some of you already in real estate. Are you obsessed with long-term gratification? I tell all my clients, get used to being great at expecting long-term gratification, because all social media is long-term for the most part, is long-term gratification. You aren't going to get flooded with deals tomorrow because you do a reel or a video, right? So followers, but understand that it takes time. Instagram actually is really good, and you will pick up followers if you just start posting, actually. But the other thing that would give you the other measurement would be engagement. So when you make a post, are you getting engagement? Are people commenting? But here is the responsibility, if you will, that comes with posting. Are you getting back to people in a timely manner or at all? So if I do a post on social and someone makes a comment, or I do a YouTube video and someone makes a comment, you cannot ignore them. That's like them walking up to you and saying, hi, how's your day going? And you just turn around and walk away. That's the equivalent of that on social media. You have to relate that to the same thing, okay? So are you doing that, or are you saying, hey, thanks for asking your question. You know what? We are gonna do a video on what the bypass that's coming in, a year. We will do that video next. We get requests for video all the time. And then we're like, okay, we got to put that on the list, or a question, we get back to people. So you got to make sure that the engagement and the followers, Jeffrey, is the answer to your question. That's the top two ways.
Great, thank you.
Yes, great question.
Frank, you know, when you put all your messages in the YouTube, now the YouTube doesn't advertise for you. Somebody has to search it in order to get to the video. So how do you? What is the first step that you want to people to be aware of such a video is in existence?
Good question. I think I have your answer. I think I understand the question. So that's why thumbnails are so important. So the reason why, you're right, people won't find you unless you run ads. People won't find you unless you do two things. One, you have a good thumbnail, right? So they're going to search. Hopefully your video pops up. Using TubeBuddy will help you rank better because of your title. The other thing that we used to do, and I'll give you a little bit of a tip that we did. So when we started our YouTube channel, I would take a 30-second snippet and I would share it on social, all my platforms. I'd share it on LinkedIn, I'd share it on Twitter, I'd share it on Instagram, and I'd share it on Facebook. So it would be the first 30 seconds at most. And it would be us with our opening hook, right? The hook. And then it would cut straight to our video, and then it would stop. And it would say, to see the rest of the video, click here. Now, there's pros and cons to doing this. Facebook doesn't like when you put something on Facebook that's a link to another social site like YouTube. They don't like it, but you have to pick your poison. So I gambled and I said, you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I put the link on Facebook and Insta, and then I had people click to take them to YouTube, and it seemed to do pretty good for us. But you do have to be careful. So you have to monitor and always be measuring, like Jeffrey asked. You have to see, like, okay, I started posting on these social. Is it working? Is it better when I do it or versus when I don't do it? You got to kind of play around. So it's a little bit of both. Paul, see your hand up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Frank?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thank you. Question, comment. Social media is new for all of us, I believe, right? Just the way of marketing and getting into it. So what you're sharing is great information. And for me, it's a little bit more on the technical side. So my question is, what kind of mindset, attitude, thought process is needed so that, right, we're more focused on that? And then the technical is a lot easier to just kind of do, whereas I first need the attitude, the mindset, and the thought process to just move forward.
It's a great question. And I thank you for asking the question. Here's how I can only share how I look at it. I can't, obviously I'm not going to be able to say, well, if you think this way, then it'll just make it all easy for you. Because I will be honest, this is not easy, right? And anything you do, I think the best way to say it is this. I, truth be told, really could care less to do social media. I do it because it's a necessary thing, right? For some of us, it's easier than others. I come from a prospecting, face-to-face sales, like that's how I grew up. I'm 46. I've been in the business 21 years, right?
That's my age. I'm 46 as well.
Okay, so I didn't
born in 76.
Yeah, me too. So we're probably close in age. So for me, it's like, I'll do it only because I need to do it. And I just know. So here's what I would tell you. I'm a math guy to some degree when it comes to business. Like it matters, right? The numbers matter and the dollars matter because I'm going out. So I always want to know what my ROI is, meaning what's my return on investment? So if I'm going to pick up the phone like I used to do and make phone calls, I'm fine with that. But I can only do it one at a time. You cannot argue with the numbers of social media. I put a video out, everybody can see it. Now, most likely not everybody in the world is going to see it, only a handful of people or 100. But how I look at it is when I do video, this is the best way I can explain it. If you do a video and 20 people see it, a classroom of people just saw your video. If 50 to 80 see it, that's a little bigger, right? That's almost like you could say an auditorium or a couple hundred people. So every time we do a video, 80 to 300 people watch our videos. Every time, that's an auditorium of people while I'm still phone calling or doing my whatever else I'm doing. So you can't argue with the numbers and the growth. And so that's the best way I can say it. And the last piece would be, it all comes back to your why. So for me, all of us struggle with something. So when I struggle with something, I tell all my clients, right? I say, like, put your why up in visual. Are you crystal clear on what you want and what you're willing to do to get it? Because if it's that strong of a why, you'll do anything to get it, including post video, social media. You can't argue with the results and the reach. That's a given. But then it comes back to, okay, I'm fired up. It doesn't matter what happens here. I'm willing to make the post once a week or whatever. And at the worst case scenario, I would say to people, do a couple and then just see what happens. If you just absolutely, you just can't get past it, we have another conversation, but you will see some momentum. And I think the toughest part for most people is just doing it the first time. It's the logistics. Something in the process catches them up and then they stop and they don't follow through. So if you promise yourself to follow through the whole process one time and get that video up, I promise you, it'll be so much easier to keep going after that. So I kind of went a couple different ways there. I hope that answers your question, but it's really just the numbers and the ROI that you can't argue with. And once you get your first phone call from YouTube where someone says, hi, I've seen every single video you've done. We want you to sell our house, or we want you to help us buy a house, and you get a commission from it, and all you do is do the video, you will never go backwards. I promise.
Right. So what I got from it is focus on your why, right? Your purpose.
That's the ultimate. Yes.
Right. And we all have our dreams, our goals, and the reason why we're doing what we do. And that takes precedence. It's going to give you that emotional kind of charge to overcome the procrastination, the fear, the hesitation, that most of us feel, right, when it comes to this new experience.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head. And I think at the end of the day, and I'm over 2 minutes, so I'll stop here after this, but the bottom line is your why has to be so strong that when you have a tough day or things don't go your way, or you're sick, or, any major thing happens to you, that you look up at that why and you say, I'm back, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Like, you got to be fired up 24/7 looking at that why. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a material thing. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care if it's just you. But it has to be where you can see it and you're dialed in and you're back doing what you got to do. That's what it takes. It's got to be that strong why. Challenge yourself.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great question, man.
Thank you so much, Frank. That was great stuff. And we'll see you next week, Frank. Thank you for the golden nuggets.
Absolutely.
I have a question. I have a question to Frank.
Oh.
Frank?
Yes.
Frank, can you please post your contact number or social media website so I can
it's
probably
Frank Harita.
a couple of questions, please.
I'll put it in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
So we can have a follow-up questions. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Everything I have is at Frank Harita. I just put it in the chat. So if you guys look in there, all my social, and then you can find my contact info from there. But you'll find us if you look up my name or my last name, Harita Team on YouTube, you'll find us there as well.
All right, Frank, thanks. Thank you for being generous with your time, brother. Thank you. See you next week.
Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Go crush it.
Thank you, Frank.
Ready.
Bye, guys.
So just to recap what Frank said, if I was taking notes here, as well as you guys, be the mayor of your community, be the mayor of your zone, right? So for example, you have to act as if no one's heard of Alhambra before, right? Highlight in business and talk to the owners, right? If you have a child and your principal of the school, talk to your principal, say, hey, do you mind if I highlight the school district, talk about the blue ribbon area, things of that sort, right? So these are free activities you guys can do in conjunction with your prospecting, right? I would make it an effort to maybe once a month, shoot 8 hours of content, right? And spread it thin every week, drop some new material, right? And YouTube, again, what Frank said, is the #2 search engine next to Google. Doesn't cost you anything, but if you're targeting seller leads, run some ad money behind that. right? So thanks again, Frank. I want to bring on our affiliates. I'm going to introduce a couple of my friends first, and then I'll let Ruben go ahead. I want to introduce Lori Kim from Provident Title first. Lori is very experienced and well-versed in title, and I'll let her have a couple seconds. Go ahead, Lori.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for including me in your meeting today. My name is Lori Kim from Provident Title. This week, the median list price for homes in Arcadia is $2.639 million, with an inventory of 84 homes. And for condos, it's $1.094 million with an inventory of 42 units. So of course, if you want detailed market data report, farming requests, and all your title needs, you can reach out to me at 818-565-9500, or you can email me at lori@providenttitle.com. Let me help you prospect, strategize on how to effectively market your farm and grow your listing business. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori. And next is Skip McBride. Skip is our in-house lender. He's on the second floor. Skip, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Skip McBride. Well, first of all, I just want to stop and say how great was that information on social media information that Frank provided, man. Creating content, it's amazing, prospecting and capturing clients and referral business. But again, my name is Skip McBride. I'm a certified mortgage banker, senior loan advisor with ClearPoint Mortgage, an in-house lender here. And I just want to thank a few people for the recent client referrals that we got. We're hoping to have a few more approvals this week. And they can begin after we get the approvals, they can begin working with the realtors. The most recent client we pre-approved for was a multi-unit for I
think we're losing him.
We know, I mean, last week in interest rates on the 30-year fix, they went from 6.32 to 6.54. It's all due to the recent inflation, non-farming payroll employment information is up, retail spending is the largest gain in the last 2 years. So our company here is monitoring the information, and with the current news on the interest rates, we find that many of our clients are utilizing the adjustable rate mortgages, or they're also looking into the 10-year IO interest only amortized over 30 or 40 years. Great products to lower their payment in the first couple years. New products we have several new products. We have a foreign national borrower product, which is full doc. All they need is a letter from a CPA providing their income in the last 2 years. And we also have, with the foreign national borrowers, we have a new product called the DSCR, which is cash flow from rental properties. And we go up to 2 million, and there's no FICO scores required on these. So it's great programs. We also have a super prime non-QM product up to 4 million with minimum income requirements for business owners. We have 1 or 2 year profit and loss statements only. Self-employed borrowers, we have 12 months bank statements. And for retired and investment borrowers, we have asset utilization programs as well. And the last thing I do is first-time home buyers. Our newest product is the FHA Plus for self-employed and 1099 independent contractors. 3.5% down with 100% gift funds. Okay, minimum FICO score is 620. So with that said, just turn it back over to you, Anthony. We appreciate it. If I'll be in the office on Wednesday, if you have any questions or for me, please stop by, say hello, and we'll talk soon.
That's good.
Thank you, Anthony and Peter.
What is just office hour and also staffing? Who's going to be in the office? From what they are, and what time?
Yeah, so we're still working out with Veronica. We have looking into hiring a person, right, Anthony? We're still working through there. We're waiting to clear some things up through the HR, and she will be on site 2 days a week, and myself as well will be on site. Right now, trying to get there 2 days, but Wednesday seems to be the day. Just working in other offices as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're working on that, and hopefully we'll have somebody in there on a daily basis.
Good.
Thank you so much, Skip. We're going to toss to
Yeah.
Ruben to introduce the rest of our wonderful affiliates. Ruben, the floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Thank you, Skip and Lori, for all that information, and also Frank. You have to go out there and you have to do it. Okay, that's the most important factor. Just as a reminder, Skip with ClearPoint, he's going to be occupying the office for all those agents that are not aware of it. He's our new in-house lender, and they will be occupying the office right next to my office. So if you guys need a client that needs to be pre-qualified, feel free to reach out to ClearPoint, okay? Before we go actually, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the few affiliates that we have today. I think, let's go ahead and start off with Brandon. Brandon, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, CVG. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I was just going to mention, so we know tax season is upon us, and I brought this up before, but the NHD report has a lot of great information in it. I know a lot of you don't read it, but within that tax section, there are Mello-Roos taxes, there's different bonds and different information that could hinder you in your transaction. So I always say order at listing, because if one of those special assessments or some sort of supplemental tax comes up and you didn't see it, in some cases, I've actually had title reps tell me that in some cases that information doesn't come up on their preliminary title report, that's why you want to also, with that title order the NHD, right? Because you want all that information on the front end, just in case something comes up and you have to clear, say it's a PACE lien, it could take some time. So you want to do all that on the front end, because I would never want an NHD report to hinder you in your transaction and to not be able to close it on time because of some piece of information within that. So my advice is always order early. You don't pay if it doesn't close. And if it doesn't close, you don't pay. So there is really no penalty. Get that on the front end and it'll really help you out. I'm always available. I'll put my info in the chat, and everyone have a fantastic week.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that information. Let's go to Unita. Good morning, Unita.
Good morning, Coldwell Banker George. Thank you, Ruben Peters. And I just want to let you know, for the home warranty, we're still 13 months home warranty. So we do give additional 1 month free. You never have to worry for the additional 1 month free. And also, if you have a claim, please let me know. One of the other things that is different with us, we do have a concierge service that handle your claim. If one of you guys have a claim issue, we want to make sure that it's a win-win situation. There is no delay on the claim. That's why we have a concierge service that could be able to help you as well. We're bringing new things in the home warranty. For example, like we're actually partnered up with a Whirlpool, LG, and Kenmore directly. So if you have like an issue with that particular appliance, for example, if Anthony have a client that have a problem issue with the Kenmore, we want to make sure that the Kenmore appliance person go inside to the homeowner's house, because it's going to be easier for them to get part, and it's going to be easier for them to fix it because they know what they're doing for that particular appliance. So I'm here to help you. My name is Unita Wu from Home Warranty of America. I do speak English, Chinese, Indonesian, Mandarin, and please reach out to me. I do have different type of brochure as well to be able to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Unita. Appreciate that. Let's go over to Mai. Good morning, Mai.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Mai True with Fidelity Title. So I just want to highlight our snapshot reports. We do have snapshot reports available to you. It's similar to a one-page summary of the prelim. So you're going to get if there's any open loans, liens, judgments, foreclosure, delinquency, and taxes. All of that will be on there. And once you order it, it will come out in 15 to 30 minutes. So it's a really quick report that you could bring with you to your buyer or seller presentation, and it will help your client know what exactly is on title. I am giving out AirPods. It's Fidelity AirPods. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna bring a couple of these for Ruben. So I don't know how you guys usually auction, or I mean, like, you know, give it out, but I'm gonna send you like 5 of these to give out to the agents.
All right, sounds good. So what we'll do is we'll auction off 1 today, and then we'll do a couple, because I have another auction item as well. But I appreciate that. Actually, you know what? We'll do 2 today. How's that?
Oh, great, great. And then also on weekends, I am available on weekends. I do work weekends. So if you guys need an open house kit to your open house, just let me know. Our kits include shoe covers, booty bin, flyer stand, sign-in booklet, tent cards, just a ton of stuff in there, like for you, for your open house. And so I can just drive it right to you too. So, because I am working weekends. So just let me know and I will, you know, visit you at your open house. Thank you so much, you guys. Hope you guys have a good week.
Thank you, Mai. Wow, that's good. That's good service. You drive it to them, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Can't say no to that. Let's go to Mark. Mark, are you on with us today, Mark? Mark,
I am.
There you
Good
go.
morning, everybody. How are you? So you guys have seen, unfortunately, the devastation of the earthquake in Turkey and whatnot. What my recommendation to agents is, I hear this from time to time, and a buyer might ask you a question: "Hey, should I get earthquake insurance or not?" Now, this is a question that can get you guys in a serious litigation if you are not careful on how you answer it. And my commitment to both Peter and Ruben is to make sure that you guys are equipped when you come in forms of insurance purposes. So what you need to say is either, you know, that's a good question. Why don't you speak to Mark, who's part of my team that I bring to you? Or I would suggest you speak to your insurance agent. Or the third best answer is I recommend it. And here's the reason why. Earthquake is not required in California when you are purchasing insurance, home insurance by the lenders. However, even if you go and your buyers have a documented proof that's saying, oh yeah, the realtor, here's a email from the realtor saying, hey, the house has never suffered an earthquake, and the realtor is recommended that I don't purchase it, and then something happens. Well, guess what? You're pulled into a litigation. So again, it's a separate policy. It is often as much as what the homeowner insurance costs, but recommend it or refer it and say, that's a question that you need to speak to an insurance professional, and that will keep you out of litigation and make Peter happy. Thank you.
That's right, Mark. Good advice.
All right. Good information, Mark. Thank you. Appreciate that. I think, do we have any other affiliates on with us today? I think that's all we have for today. If not, all right, Peter, before I hand it off to you, I just wanted to give a couple of shout outs to a couple birthdays this week. Kevin, happy birthday. And Joanne Lee, happy birthday. All right. And then also a couple of reminders. This Wednesday, we have a lunch and learn at 11 a.m. Okay. Actually, it's not a lunch and learn, but it's an 11 a.m. Brunch and learn. And that's going to be hosted by Christy Kennelly. Okay. And she's going to go over AI in today's real estate and more specifically with ChatGPT. So that's going to be Wednesday at 11 a.m. In person. Okay. Also, Friday's training, we're going to do something a little different this Friday. I know we've been learning about, you guys been training on Moxie Present. So we're going to do a hands-on training this Friday at 10 a.m. So bring your laptops, and we're actually going to guide you through the whole process once or twice, so you guys can hopefully leave as experts with these seller presentations. If we have time, we'll go over some buyer presentations, but for sure our goal is for you guys, for our agents to walk out that Friday comfortable and confident in their ability to present seller presentations through Moxie Present, okay? That's this Friday, hands-on. If you don't have a laptop, don't worry about it. You can come in and use our company computer that's here, and we'll get you in there and we'll get you practicing and hopefully leaving as an expert, okay? With that, I'll hand it over to Peter so he can have his message, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you, Ruben. Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a nice weekend. It was the weather was very nice, not too cold, not too hot, and so I hope you had a nice one. But today I'm going to take a few minutes to give you the update on the housing market. So let me share the screen. Can you enable me to share the screen, Eka?
Yes, give me 1 second. You should be good now, Peter.
Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. See, this is what I do every month. I give you an update on the housing market. So let me. How come okay, there you go.
Yeah, we can
All
see
right.
the screen.
Well, the first thing you will notice is that the sales transaction for January 2023 is really depressed. We only had 241,520 units, and that is a decrease of 45.7% compared to last year. And actually, if you look at this, look at the slide, it akin to the 2007, 2008 time when the sales transaction was also depressed. You can see that we're about the same level as 2007, but the dynamic between the 2007 and now is totally different. In 2007, we have a lot of foreclosures, and the market was really depressed. But this time around, we don't see any much foreclosures, and the reason is because all over the 70% of the households has more than 40% equity, and they are locked in a very low interest rate of 2.5 to 3%. So they're not in a hurry to sell. So the reason why we have a depression in the sales is because the seller and the buyer cannot come into the middle ground for transaction, but that is going to change when the buyer realize that they really cannot wait any longer for the price to drop, because the price, as you can see later on, the price didn't drop very much. The good thing is that the sale for last 3 months inches up a little bit, and as a matter of fact, from the last month, it has a 0.4% month-to-month increase. Now the good thing is that the pending sales really increased for the last couple of months, and starting from 1.6 thousand to 3.7 thousand. So as you can see that it really dip on December of last year, minus 15.8%, and for January and then February, it really rebound quite a bit, 20% to 27%. And the inventory is still very tight at 2.7 months, but it was really tight back in 2021. But even now, the inventory is only 2.7 months, and it's pretty tight. That's the reason why the price really stayed stubbornly high. They didn't have much of a price reduction, and a lot of people were thinking about 10%, 15%, but it never materialized. Right now, realistically, we are looking at a minus 5.4%. And the active listing with reduced price dropped down to 35%. It used to be like over 40% a couple of months ago, but now it's dropping down to 35%, meaning that the sellers are not willing to reduce price any much beyond 5.4%. And also you can see that the price reduction for the 5th region in California, the Central Coast is minus 3.3%, Central Valley minus 4.4%, and for the far north, 7.7%. And the worst one is the San Francisco Bay Area, where the high-tech business are in. And as for Southern California, it is hardly any much decrease in the price. And so we have really a special market in Southern California. And for the square footage, price per square foot, it's not that much difference in all the regions. The percentage home close above the list price is at 27% now, compared to like a few months ago or last year, 2022, 74%. That is really a far cry. But 27% is still substantial. So the conclusion is that the price softened, but it's not as but it's not as rapidly as it's supposed to be or expected to be. And right now the price stands at $751,330, which is a decrease of 3% month to month, and compared to last year's drop of 1.9%. So the price really didn't drop very much, contrary to what people were expecting. The median day on the market it's like the 39 days now, compared to 11 days like in last year. So you should be expecting a much longer period of time that the house is on the market, but so it's 3 times as long now. So good news is that we probably have passed the peak inflation. It used to be a year ago it was like 8.9%, and now it's like 6.3%. And so hopefully that the inflation will be tamed according to the plan. And the bad news is that the Fed, the mortgage rate as interest up now is over 6.32%, and also actually lately that they find out that the inflation rate has not been tamed to the point that the Fed wants. So they are thinking of hiking the interest rate further, but we'll have to see what the Fed is going to do in the next month when they see the inflation figures. Okay, so that's all that I have for the housing update. And so back to Ruben. Ruben?
All right, thank you. Thank you, Peter, for that information. Very good information. Before I hand it off to Doug, actually, we're gonna go over new business for last week and also do our drawing, and then I'll hand it over to Doug for his new business in Arcadia. Christine Fenn has a new lease listing for $3,995,000, and that's on Elm Avenue in San Gabriel. So if anybody has a client that wants to lease property in San Gabriel, please contact Christine Fenn. Anthony? All right, and then another new lease by Shumei in Cerritos, and I believe this is a retail location, if I'm not mistaken, and that's $4,301 per month. And then Ruben Galvan has a new listing, residential property in Victorville on Wildcat Lane for $379,000. Congratulations to you, Ruben, as well. And the new listing, it looks like a vacant land in Lancaster, and this is listed by Teen Gan, and that's for $85,000. And then we have another new listing. Oh, so Teen has another listing in Lancaster. Is this not the same one, Anthony?
Oh, yeah, it's a different one. I'm sorry about that. That's I think this is one in Oak Hills. I'm sorry about that mistake.
Okay. Oh, this is Oak Hills.
Yeah, it's Oak Hills.
Okay, this was in Oak Hills for $85,000. Okay, and then Christine Garcia has a listing I believe she just put into escrow for $840,000 in my stomping grounds, which is Highland Park, okay, on Fayette Street. So congratulations to all those agents. And I think the rest of them are from Arcadia, right?
Yeah, this
Anthony?
one, I think this is the one that we're talking about. I think this one's from Suki Husky.
Oh, this is Suki's. Okay, so so it's not teens listing, but it's a listing from Suki for 478,800 in Oak Hills. Congratulations, Suki. And then there's I think this is going to go to Arcadia now, right?
Doug.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Ruben?
Yeah.
I can now.
Yeah, you're getting all my Arcadia agents, Tian and Suki. Actually,
I think
the one Suki had has already been sold.
Oh, okay. So I'll let you go over the Arcadia one.
Yeah, she has well, you know, Tian's a Mancaster. You already pitched that one. Also, Duarte Road, Steve Hayashi has a commercial lease, $27.69 a month. Laura Shin in Almani has a nice house for $759. A house for sale. Wendy Lee has one out of Montclair for $658.8. And we have 5 sales I want to tell you about. But also I want to tell you that, you know, we just had a walk-in listing for over $1 million on units in Temple City. Wow. So the floor time over here has been pretty good on and off. Okay, Suki had a sale in Fullerton for $1,730,000. Mike Radovich had a buyer in San Bernardino, $950,000. I sold my Sierra Vista in Alhambra for $1.1 million. Carmen Shoemaker sold her property in Lakewood over asking price at $400,000, and Suki's Oak Hill went for $430,000. That's all that's happening here, but Arcadia is booming.
All right, good, right.
Good job,
Good job, Doug.
Good job to all the agents in Arcadia and all our agents here in Alhambra. You know, the business is out there. You just got to grind it out and just do the work, okay? Prospect. So before I let you guys go, I want to go ahead and invite Edgar up here. We're going to give away 2 of the iPods. No, what is it? The AirPods. AirPods,
yeah.
All right. The first one goes to Catherine Johnson. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Catherine.
So now you could do your work with hands-free.
Yeah.
All right. The
Thank
next
you.
person. Oh, don't thank me. Thank Mai.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Oh, and then Christina Garcia. So the two agents from Alhambra, Christina Garcia and Catherine Johnson. Thank you, Mai, for the iPods. Very appreciative. And I think that's all I have for today. Anthony, did you have anything to add?
No, that's it, guys. Wonderful meeting. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for your leadership.
Ruben,
Paul had a question. Paul.
Quick question, Ruben.
Yeah.
Wednesday's training, is that available via Zoom or is it in person only?
Yes, that will be available via Zoom, and it will also be recorded and sent out. However, this is a social media event, actually artificial intelligence. And these are actually better if you're in person. So if you're able to come in person and engage with Christy Kennelly, I highly urge it. But okay. Yes, it will be available via Zoom as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, the Friday training, the hands-on training is also going to be via Zoom and recorded. However, it is hands-on. If you want to get the full effect and the training, I urge you guys to come in person as well. Okay. That's all we have for this week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a productive week. Okay. We'll see you guys next Monday. Okay. Have a happy President's Day.
Yep. Have a nice week, guys.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ruben. Anthony.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.